It's like you're going to a junior high girls basketball team and you're a full-grown adult.
Or it's just.
Or you just say it's like competing against the WNBA. That works.
Do you think the average guy could beat a WNBA girl?
Of course I do.
God. All right, how do we feel about this? There's a guy who entered an all-women poker tournament, and he won the tournament, beating out 82 women.
Damn.
That's not that bad.
I didn't even know they had all women.
I'm pretty close to the story because Nikki's in the poker community and shit.
There's all women poker tournaments.
I say that's a sexist poker tournament.
So as an official poker wife, who has a very prominent professional poker player wife, a husband.
Good intro.
Yes. She's a nice ass too. She has.
He has a nice ass. What were you told about the insider part of it?
So the thing about this there's a couple things going on. One, there's like a hack joke about it, right? Like, hey, I'm a guy, but I identify as a chick and I'm gonna be in the poker tournament, right? So there's like a hack joke about it where it's like this guy who's like has a snowy white beard, looks like fucking Santa Claus. He's playing in the poker tournament.
He's like 70 years old.
Yeah, against women, right? So there's that going on, right? But then there's a thing in the poker community amongst the women folk where they just want to play poker sometimes and not have to deal with dudes being dudes and bros being guys and guys
highly
being bros.
understandable.
Yeah. Right, and so there's like a more welcoming environment for a lot of those.
You gotta deal with catcalling or stupid names.
Yeah, and just guys who will bully pots because you're a chick, which happens all the fucking day long.
But they could prey on that because.
And some of them do. Nikki does it all the time.
I've never so like I know in like chess and others like stuff like this, right? There's like there's girls that don't really play. In poker though, I've never really felt the same or heard the same in the same kind of caliber of like women, like because there are women that could fucking play like run circles around you.
Of course.
Absolutely, but there's still isn't a big winner amongst the chicks in the poker community, right?
True. That's true.
Which is just a fact, right? Stated fact. But so like I'm talking about like World Series of Poker, no woman has ever won.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like the main event.
Like a super legend, like a Phil Ivey or Doyle Brunson.
Yeah.
But I think that's just a statistical disadvantage because there's less entering. Yeah. There's less interest, less entry.
Statistically, way less. It's like
less pool, smaller pool. Yeah.
So, but in the poker community, so there's this offshoot of women who just want to chill out. Now, not all of them do, right? Like some women don't care. They want to go chop it up with the dudes, and they want to go beat the dudes, and they want to use their advantages or disadvantages, and like kind of work the dudes in their own way and figure out what their problems are, right? Yeah. Like there's a lot of women like that, but there are some who are newer to the game who just want to play a friendly game and not have to deal with being bullied on pots all the time by fucking dudes who are dressed maybe in a tracksuit like me and
playing
like,
aggressive and shit.
Yeah, wearing sunglasses and fucking stone faced and like they just think all women are stupid and all that kind of shit, right? So that's what's going on here, is that these women feel like they had their environment invaded upon by this fucking dude who's just like, hey, women can't win. Well, if you guys are so good, why can't you win your own tournament and all that kind of shit? And
they had to let him play too.
Right.
Because he identified as a woman?
Well, it says that there's a Florida law that you can't discriminate against like a guy that wants to play a women's thing or something.
Yeah.
So you think this guy's like a cool guy to hang out with?
Probably.
He sounds like a
Is he a known poker player like in the men's community?
I never heard of him, but I'm so new to the game.
So it's not
anyway.
like a freaking unicorn player went in and just demolished everybody.
I don't know. I don't know enough to know. But I just know that that's like, so coming in with like more context than I probably would have had if I wasn't married to a poker chick.
Yeah.
That this is what I'm hearing from that end. And like,
that is cool though, that they just want to play and they don't want to make a cool.
And Nikki is super down with both sides. Like she's like, I am down with the chicks who just don't want to have to deal with it, and they're usually newer poker players or like older ladies who just want to chill out a little bit,
casual players,
have a fun time. And there's a lot of group environment too, like with women. Like women like sometimes are like, especially in the poker community, they're like, let's get a group and then go play poker. And Nikki's very like not that way. Nikki's very like, I have my own thoughts about what I need to do and my own system about how I need to play. And she puts the headphones in and she just wants to focus on the game. But some chicks are like, I want to go with a pot of chicks so that I'm more strong. Like like against some of these dudes who are kind of weird and predatory against women sometimes. So they go in like a little pod, they feel safer. And so I think that this guy coming in made a lot of those women go like, great, dude, cool, dude, like you're awesome, you're funny, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, it does suck too that like when you look at that, like he beat out 82 women. It is kind of sad to think that was 82 women that just wanted to have a good time too.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
They all got together and then they had to make it about him.
Yep.
Now he's the fucking story,
Yep.
right? Like for the whole day. That does kind of suck.
And there's a lot of meme lords in the poker community who are like, haha, well, get better, get good at poker, get good then, women, get good. But like...
Well, even if he didn't win the whole thing, it still kind of ruins the intended vibe.
100%.
Yeah.
I want to see if he can win this consistently, though, because in poker, I mean, you have stories like Chris Moneymaker, where just an absolute noob wins a satellite and he wins the World Series, right? So, like, there's still variance tied to it. Yeah, it's a game of skill, but it's not like chess, where it's purely a skill and logic game. So then, like, in that case, too, like, if you're beating someone by far, like, by distances, that's a big win. In this case, I don't know how much he won and how consistently he wins, and if it's a bragging thing. Like, did he come in clear 82 within an hour? Like, that's like, oh shit, like he's clearly a fucking boss. But if they gave you competition and you barely won, then it's like, it's not really bragging rights.
Yeah, and who was the competition? Like this tournament wasn't like a bunch of cutthroats and we want to fucking
Right,
go.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
knowing
like-
that makes a big difference.
Yeah,
too.
and I didn't know that. I did not know
That's
that.
like me going to a senior citizen bingo hall and fucking them all up and being like, in your face, grandma bitch.
Which would be amazing though if you like hella fucked up in bingo.
I mean, that's even like men
They're
and women
better bingo.
aside, it would literally be like me or you in our dance prime and going to a local studio and just trying to smoke everybody. And they're just dancing to dance.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of like messed up to do.
Yeah.
That would feel very good for my ego.
like,
I should go. I should take part.
That is true. Because it's not really, like, it's not like you're going and competing against the WNBA. It's like you're going to a junior high girls basketball team and you're a full-grown adult and you're fucking them up.
Or it's just
Or you just say it's like
yeah.
competing against the WNBA. That works.
Do you think the average guy could beat a WNBA girl?
Of course I do.
God.
Some people that go ball handle.
What's that? What's that by now? Is that a sextuple down? Am I sextupling down now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it would be.
All right, good.
Yeah, but do you think there is any kind of, and that would suck if you've never wanted to answer this for your whole life, but is there any kind of advantage in the male mind in poker skill?
I think that obviously, like inherently, guys are more down to take risks, which is why Joe's saying statistically there's less women poker players. There just is, right? Yeah. Like it's just look down the line, like less deep sea welders, right? Less like the guys who do the lobster, whatever the
Less
fuck it
ice
is.
road truckers.
Yeah.
In poker, their playing style's different. So like everyone has a different playing style, right?
Right.
But generally, like, if they're good, they understand how to manipulate men. Like they know the strengths and weaknesses and they play on the strengths and weaknesses versus like guys might be way more willing to just be less calculated and risky or just pure numbers calculated, autistic and not even emotional.
Nikki was saying it's fucking annoying to play chicks sometimes because they don't really bluff, they probably have it. And so
They're too safe and that you could see it.
So she's like, okay, cool, I have top pair, but like maybe they have the full house because like they're betting into it.
So they play too straight.
They play straight up, and yeah, and she's like, with men, they're more likely to be like fucking wild balling some shit, like just like fucking let's see what happens.
Interesting.
You're not sure.
Yeah.
Also, like the winning characteristics of a poker player is like someone who's more interested in statistics, math, also high risk, also a bit Machiavellian, because you have to be okay with lying straight to the face of your opponent. And the key is being disagreeable.
You're trying to take their wallet.
Yeah, because if you're an agreeable player, you want everyone to have a win and a good time, you're not going to win. You got to be able to smile at someone and be like, in this game, I'm taking everything for what you fucking got.
And you gotta be like, thinking about the context, this is like an all-women poker tournament, and then you got like Santa Claus walking in.
Yeah.
that might fuck up everybody's game. Like he sits at your table, you're not really thinking about your game as much anymore. You're like, man, this is uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like, what is this? Or why is he at this table? And suddenly you're just thrown off. So it's probably just more of an advantage for this guy.
Yes, the adult at the all kids field trip. You're like, what the fuck is this motherfucker doing here?
I saw this, I was at the Wynn playing one time, and I thought that this girl was fucking genius, right? She comes in, clearly an escort, low cut, everything. She is flirting with every dude, everyone's giggling, red face, they're super, when a girl comes on the table, guys act stupid, right? Especially guys that don't have like girlfriends or relationships. And then they want to act even more, whatever. And then she started identifying every single person's like weaknesses. And then she wasn't a good card player, but she was a person player. So guys would just give her pots. Like I was like, I think he had a strong card, but he was letting her win. And then she would just be raking and raking and raking. And then she would like blow a couple $100 and she goes, oops. Well, looks like that's the end of the night for me. And some guys were like, no, just come stay. No, we'll you know what? Here, have this. And then guys are like giving her money to play and keep going. And I'm like, what the fuck? And at the end of the night, she goes, oh, that's enough for me. And then she gets up. One of the guys pop up. You go see him following her, talking to her. And then they go up to the room together. And I'm like, this girl came in not only making money, but she has a client. And I'm like, see, that's how you play these dudes. And I was like, that's fucking genius. Yeah.
Message for all the women out there. That's how you play them.
She won in a different way. She didn't win that game, but she definitely won that night with probably the most money out of all of us.
Exactly.
Damn.